Hey guys, so I did do some vlogs for Booktubeathon, but I think I only vlogged for like the first 4 or 5 days and then I stopped. I got really sick and I just didn't feel like vlogging, but this is gonna be my Booktubeathon wrap up so I can discuss with you guys what I ended up reading so that you can be up to date and everything. So let's go ahead and get into this. So, the first day of Booktubeathon, I read Paper Princess by Aaron Watt. This completed the Read a Book with Yellow on the Cover challenge, and I started it that day, and I finished it that day, and I think I started it at like 1 p.m. and finished around 6 p.m., so it took me about 5 hours to read. This is an amazing book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Maybe it's really like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only problems I had with it were some of the scenes that were written. I don't know. It just felt like, I don't know, the writing in some of the scenes kind of bothered me just a bit. But I mean, but it's actually pretty well written. It's just because because I'm a writer too, and I was just being picky, and I don't know. So also like this, like it's got some sexual scenes in there. And I think those are really the ones that bothered me because I feel like a lot of the fan fictions I read have way better sex scenes in them. I mean, a lot of the fan fictions I read are like top quality. Like, yeah. So that could also be a thing. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But really, this was a really amazing story. And actually, the second book just came out on the 25th. I haven't gotten it yet because I cannot be spending money right now. I grabbed a few books from Hastings the other day because they're closing down, which is super sad because as you guys know, I did work there for a while. But yeah, but I really can't spend any more money because I have a car payment and I need to save up money to get my passport to go to London in March. So mainly all the books I get are going to be like library books from now on. Although the second book is only $4.99 on Kindle, so I might be able to get that. But like, I already have the first book in physical form, so I really want the second book in physical form. But anyway, gonna stop with that. But this is a really good book, and I would recommend it. So yeah, I might want to give you guys a synopsis. So basically, it's about this girl who her mom just passed away, and she's supporting herself. And she's going to school and stuff, but she's like also at night she's a stripper, and then this guy comes in and is like, I'm technically your guardian, and takes her to live with him and his sons, and their last name's Royal, and the tag on this is these royals will ruin you. And it's such a good book, and I can't even really describe the book because of how freaking good it is. You gotta read it. It's so good. So good. Yeah, that's all I gotta say for that one. And then the next book I read was Monster High 2, The Gal Next Door by Lacey Harrison. This completed the challenge of read a book by your favorite author. As you guys know, Lacey Harrison wrote the Click series, which is a 19-book series. I've read the entire thing, as well as her Pretenders and License to Spill, and of course the first book of Monster High. So I've read so many books by her, and now I've read this one. So I think that makes like 23 books by her that I have now read. Hold on, let me make sure. 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, yeah, 23. I'm right. So yeah, but it was really good. It was fast. I got it done in like 3 hours or something. I can't even remember. But it was really good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars as well. I liked the little movie they do, and I liked seeing more Cleo in this book, and yeah, it's just really good. They're fast and easy reads, and I mean, it's Lacey Harrison. Honestly, I'll pick up anything she puts out, so yeah. The next book I read I don't have with me because it was from the library and I've already had to return it. I read Vampire Night Volume 11. And this actually, like, I told you guys I was gonna read the Fellowship of the Ring for the book to movie adaptation, but I ended up using Vampire Knight and just watched like the first episode of the anime because there was no way I was going to finish the Fellowship of the Ring. I think I read maybe 20 something pages of it during the readathon, or 30, 40, I don't know, somewhere around there. But I could not read any more just because it was so dense and it was taking me so long, and I knew I had so many other books to read. Also, I didn't own a copy of the movie, and it wasn't on Hulu or Netflix or Amazon or anything, so I wouldn't have been able to complete the challenge anyways with that one. So I knew Vampire Knight was on Netflix, and so that did that. So that's how that happened. I also gave that volume 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read, and this was not on my original TBR. Neither was Paper Princess, by the way. The book I was actually going to originally use for that was Uprooted by Naomi Novik. But the first day, I was just looking at Paper Princess, and I was like, I really want to read you. The only thing you would count for is yellow on the cover, so I'm going to do that. So that's how that happened, because I'm a mood reader, so me sticking to TBRs just doesn't work. It's not a thing that can happen. Anyway, so this I picked up on a whim, because I wanted to read it. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the third book, The Titan's Curse. I actually saw Cece over at Problems of a Book Nerd. She was talking about reading this one, and then I was like, you know what, that sounds like really good. Like, I want to continue reading Percy Jackson right now. I'm gonna do that. So then I just was like, okay, I'm gonna read this. So then I did, and that's how that happened. But this was really fun. I enjoyed all the new characters that we got to meet in this book. I really enjoyed, like, Annabeth and Percy getting closer. That was super cute. I love that Tyson comes in at a point. I was like, oh, baby, so excited. So that made me excited. I also love the interaction between Poseidon and Percy that happens later on, and I loved this book. It was just really great. So far, this is definitely my favorite one. But this is my first time reading Percy Jackson, and I'm only on the third book. I still have 2 more to go. So I'm hoping I'm going to read the 4th one here pretty soon, because kind of in the Percy Jackson mood. And I ended up giving this one a 5 out of 5 stars, because I just really enjoyed it. It was great and hilarious, like all of them are, but I found myself grinning and laughing through this a lot more than I had been through the other ones, and it was a top-notch book. So, the next book I read, this I actually read for like the first 4 nights, because this is my book after sunset, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. So yeah, this was for the read only after sunset. So for like the first 4 nights or so, I would read about 100 pages after sunset, 70 to 100 pages after sunset. So I ended up finishing it on, like, I think it was the 4th night, I'm pretty sure, but again, I'm not that sure because it kind of was just a blur of a week because I had work and stuff as well. Anyway, so, but I really did enjoy this. I thought it was pretty interesting. It was definitely unique, something I haven't really read before. I really liked the whole time loop thing, and Miss Peregrine was a very interesting character, the bird. I really like Emma. She's different. The pictures, I was worried about reading this book, honestly, because I'm a scaredy cat and I really don't like horror or anything, and I don't know, just like the cover, I guess, and the pictures I had seen made it seem like it might be kind of creepy, but it's really not. It's not creepy. It's fine. I mean, some of the pictures are creepy for sure, and it can be a little creepy, but it's not like to the extent I was thinking it would be, to where I could not read it. It was pretty good, and I am excited to see the movie in December, which is going to be directed by Tim Burton. And honestly, I'm sad to say that that's the reason why I finally decided to pick up this book. It wasn't really, I mean, I knew it was Jessie the Reader's favorite book, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, but that's not going to be the reason I read it. And I was putting it off picking up this book for so long, and I ended up not even purchasing this. It was actually, I did, but I mean, it was I had a gift card that I used for it, because I wasn't going to spend my own money on it, basically. But I'm glad that I did read it and everything. But yeah, the thing that convinced me to read it was the fact that Tim Burton was directing the film, because I absolutely love everything Tim Burton. And yeah, when I was at my college and everything, when all my friends were still there and everything, we would have Tim Burton nights, and we would watch like Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, The Corpse Bride, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Beetlejuice. I mean, we would just watch all of the movies, because we all were just big Tim Burton people, and we loved it, and it was awesome. So yeah, so that's really why I decided to pick up this book. So I was like, I have to read the book before I watch the movie, but it's like, it's Tim Burton, so I'm gonna see that movie. So I'm glad that I finally read the book and I can see the movie. And I do plan on continuing on. Like I said, I did really, really enjoy this, and I'm really glad that I ended up picking it up. I see why people love it so much, but I only gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I mean, I really liked it, but I wouldn't say I necessarily loved it, which makes me feel bad, because I know Jessie the Reader loves it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I did really enjoy it, but it just wasn't I guess it didn't have that oomph that I was expecting from how well loved it is. I guess I was expecting a little bit more or something. I don't know. It didn't pack the punch I think I was thinking it was gonna have. I thought there was gonna be some big thing that ends up happening, and I was gonna be like, oh my god. That never ended up happening. I can't remember a time when I was really yeah, I mean, yeah, but it was, like I said, it was really good. And maybe the other 2 books in this series will have that oh my god moment that I'm looking for, that is the reason why people love this so much. So maybe that's in Hollow City or Library of Souls, which I will be picking those up at some point. Like I said, I really can't be spending money on books right now, so I really need to focus on reading the books that I already own and using my library, which thankfully I own a lot of books that I haven't read yet. The only books I will be getting are books that I have already pre-ordered, because those are top-notch, important, not even going to mess with that. So if I've already pre-ordered the book, then, which I've already pre-ordered Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, obviously. I mean, we all know. Oh, by the way, where is it? Can you guys see? Gryffindor! But yeah, like I said, we all know. I would definitely have that pre-ordered already for months, so that's definitely coming. But I pre-ordered it from Amazon, and this has never happened in all my experience. I always get it the day that it comes out from Amazon when I pre-order. I'm not getting it until August 3rd, and it comes out July 31st, and I'm pretty angry about it. But I don't want to pre-order it from somewhere else, because I'm only paying $19.20 for it from Amazon, because I pre-ordered it so long ago. So if I canceled that and went and bought it somewhere else, I'd definitely be paying $29, and I'm not. Like I said, I am broke. I can't be doing that. I have car payment, so that I have to pay tomorrow. So yeah, that's just not gonna happen. Sorry. But anyways, so what were we doing? Oh yeah, I got so sidetracked. And the last book that I read for the Booktubeathon was The Novice by Taryn Mathrew, and I read this did I read this? July 24th. Oh yeah, I finished this on the last day of the Booktubeathon. I think I started it after I finished Miss Peregrine's the day before, and then I finished it on Sunday, and this was really freaking amazing. I am in love with this. It's just all of the things that I love. It's got a boarding school. It's got demons as like familiars. It's got awesome freaking weapons like this. It's got dwarves, orcs, and elves, and I'm just like, praise bless. This is amazing. It's also a beautiful cover, and it's gorgeous. Oh my god, it almost fell. There's a thing embossed right there. You probably can't see it, but it's basically this symbol that's on the back is embossed on the cover, which is super cool. But yeah, I am absolutely loving this, I already read this book. I'm absolutely loving this series because the book that I'm currently reading is dun dun dun, The Inquisition by Taryn Mathera, which is the second book, the sequel to this one. This is what I'm currently reading. Whatever. I'm this much through. Well, I suck at this, guys. Yeah, this is how much I have left to read. So I have exactly 100 pages left to read. And I'm super excited. Oh, today I read Fine Welcome, Othello's Journey, which I really appreciate about Taryn Mathero is like any short novellas that he has that goes along with that series, they're free on Kindle. Like, you don't have to pay for them, because I also downloaded The Origins, which is like 100-page novella about like Fletcher, the main character, like his parents or something. It's like a prequel, and I'm just like, thank you. Like, that's so nice of him to do that, because, you know, most other authors, which I get, like, they do have a price on, like, their novellas for their series, but he's like, no, like, free content, have it, thank you. It's like, you're awesome. But it makes sense because he actually got founded on Wattpad, I think is what it says. It's got it somewhere. Yeah, on Wattpad, yeah. He had so many, like, he had 3 million reads or something, and so they ended up, were like, hey, let's publish this, and yeah, so that's what happened. So, but, I think my boyfriend's gonna be reading it soon, because I told him about it, and it's, like, everything he loves, because it's basically, like, his two favorite series, which is the Seven Realms series, because it's got, like, the boarding school, and the magic stuff, but then it's also got, like, demons in it, which is kind of like Chronicles of Nick. I mean, I get that, like, Nick himself is a demon, but whatever. It's kind of like those two together, and I'm like, you really like it. And I was like, oh, also there's dwarves, because he really loves dwarves. So, yeah. Also, when I finished the Novice, I also started Captive Prince. I didn't finish it, though, so I only read 6 things for the Booktubeathon. But I read, like, the first 152 pages of that, so, yeah. Give me a second, I am going to count up my page count that I did. Okay, so I just did my page count, and it came out to be 1,969 pages is what I read for the Booktubeathon. That includes all the books I just showed you, as well as the Vampire Knight that I talked about, and as well as the first 152 pages of Captive Prince. So, oh, I totally forgot to add in what I read of the Fellowship of the Ring. Give me one more second. Okay, so I just added in the pages that I read from the Fellowship of the Ring, because I did read some of this trying to do it, and then I realized I couldn't. I read 43 pages of this during the Booktubeathon. Added to the count that I just told you guys, I actually read 2,012 pages. So, go me. Yeah, so that was actually pretty good, and I'm pretty proud of myself. So what I ended up doing was I read 6 total books that I completed. And like I said, then I read part of Captive Prince and part of Fellowship of the Ring. I did complete all the challenges except for the read a book that's older than you, because I did not finish this, but I did do the movie adaptation one, which was Vampire Knight. I did Yellow on the Cover, which was Paper Princess. I did a book by your favorite author, which was Lacey Harrison. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Titan's Curse, I decided to use that one as my book I discovered through Booktube, because I found out about the Percy Jackson series through Booktube. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children was my book after Sunset, and and I also didn't complete the 7 books challenge. But this was my first year ever participating in Booktubeathon, so I feel like I did pretty good. All things considered, since this was my first one, I also had work this week, and yeah, I think I did a pretty good job. So I'm proud of myself anyway. But this video has been forever long, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I will see you next time. Bye!